Do you ever see a game and you're like, wow, this is either going to be the best thing I have ever played, or it is absolutely way too good to be true and I should have not had high expectations? Well, that's how I feel about this game. Cottonville, an upcoming not only farming sim game, but farming sim dress-up game where you're actually harvesting materials like cotton and bamboo to make fabrics, to make clothing, to sell the clothing, and style them to different clients. On paper and via the trailer, this game looks like it has everything. So I mentioned it in a recent video where I challenged myself to show off 10 cozy games I wasn't sure you'd heard about yet. And to my excitement, but not my surprise, many of you were very interested in learning more about this game, Cottonville. And so I then realized that Cottonville actually has a free demo that we could play right now. And I had no idea, but they actually launched a Kickstarter campaign. So today, we're going to be diving into the demo, diving into the Kickstarter campaign, and answering the question of, is Cottonville really potentially going to be the next big thing, or is it too good to be true? Going into this and looking at Cottonville, I'm on an even playing field, because on one hand, I'm so excited just looking at it. It looks visually amazing and stunning, but with so much peace and love. So much peace and love. I do know the developer / publisher of this game frankly pumps out a lot of cozy games. A lot of them have felt a little too simple for my liking. Some of them have been okay that I've tried. I haven't tried that many. One of them I tried didn't run on Nintendo Switch whatsoever, and I don't know how it made it on the eShop. So, because of that, I'm hopeful but weary about Cottonville, and so it's time for our first look and to see how it goes. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Payton. It is nice to meet you, it is nice to see you, and welcome to the corner. So like I said, we're going to be exploring the demo of Cottonville and also checking out the Kickstarter campaign to learn some more information about the game. Now, this is an upcoming game that's currently in development. It does not have a release date. It is set to come out on both Steam and Nintendo Switch, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I'm mainly making this video because I haven't heard anyone talk about this game, and I really saw the potential in it when I first stumbled across the trailer. But like I said, I also have some reasons to be weary that maybe this game is going to be a little simpler than I thought and not the style-savvy times Stardew game of my dreams. But we're gonna find out. Before we do that though, please be sure to click the lovely little like button as well as subscribe for more cozy gaming content just like this. And if you want to see me play cozy games live, I live stream right here on YouTube and over on Twitch several times a week, and we'd love to see you to stream. Okay, I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna hop right into playing the game's demo, then checking out the Kickstarter, and then I'll wrap the video up with my thoughts on what I've played so far. And here we are in Cottonville, noting that the demo only includes the first 5 days in-game. As always, I took a look at the settings, and there wasn't a lot to note here, so we jumped right into the dramatic backstory, where sometimes life can change overnight. And it did, because we got a phone call from one of our friends who hasn't talked to us in years, and they were like, hey, I have this fashion farm that apparently no one wanted to buy this lovely piece of property. Do you want it for free? And we're like, yeah, dude, I'll take it. And suddenly we're in Cottonville. They get right to the point, and we are dropped in an adorable character customizer. This is always one of my favorite parts of the games, and this one was no exception. I really liked the different skin tone options, specifically the vitiligo representation was really nice to see. And I got so excited by the hair colors, I actually forgot to try on the different hairstyles at first. But don't worry, we go back. I mean, that's what my hair looks like. Like the dark on the bottom and then the kind of faded highlights at the bottom. Wait, dark on the top, faded highlights on the bottom. That's my hair. Anyway, then I moved over to eyes, and I knew the starry eyes were for me. Originally, I was gonna go for the poopy brown color like my real life eyes, but then I saw There were fun options. Okay, not to hate on people with brown eyes, I'm among you, but look how cute this is with the extra stars, or the different color eyes, or even the fiery eyes. I loved them all, but I did go for the extra starry ones. And then you can kind of, I guess this is like your eye shape, but in my brain, this is just straight up eyeliner and mascara, baby. So I had to pick between the Maybelline mascara and the L'Oreal mascara, or some Sephora brand mascara, and I went for this one. And then eyebrows. I picked the little straight ones, but you can't really see it because of the hair that I'm wearing. And for mouth, we had some different options as well, and I kind of just chose the simple one, though I did kind of like this little, I don't want to call it the ooh-woo one, but it's kind of like the ooh-woo mouth. And then I remembered about the hairstyles, so I went back to flick through them all, and there were really cute options. Like, I genuinely really liked a lot of these, and I thought there was kind of a nice mix. Apparently there's 15 styles according to the Kickstarter. I did not sit here and count them. It was weird though, sometimes when I scrolled, I feel like it was just showing the same ones, but then I scrolled again and then I got different ones, so I don't know what was going on there, but for me, I still liked that original style the best until I saw the braids, and I really thought for a second, I was like, ooh, do I want these two little pigtail braids, or do I want the Dyson Airwrap Blowout? And I, of course, chose the Dyson Airwrap Blowout, and here we are actually starting in Cottonville. They do a really good job of the tutorials in this game if you're stupid like I am and you need all the help you can get. This game follows a day-to-night cycle. It's about 15 to 20 minutes for each game day, so if you've played something like Stardew Valley, it's going to be a quicker pace, kind of like that one. Then we're introduced to the overall UI, where we have our achievements, our map, our inventory, and even tutorials if we get lost. It's also worth noting that this game, at least the demo, does not use the mouse at all, and you are entirely using your keyboard for this game. Don't know if that'll change, but that's how it starts. I took a little peek at the different achievements that I could look out for, and it seems like they categorize a couple different things: making clothes, farming, selling clothes, and also buying things, so you get achievements for all of those different areas. I took a look at the map, which is definitely limited for this demo. Don't know if the full thing will have more, but in this demo, there's really only 2 shops you can visit. But alas, before we could do that, I wanted to take a look at what they gave me to start, and in this demo, they actually do hook you up with a lot of seeds and a lot of clothing items. Then I set foot inside and I was introduced to the shop, where I learned, yes, I can actually open and close my own shop each day to sell clothing that I make. I accidentally opened the shop too early, I was panicking, and suddenly, poof, 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 our first customer shows up and I don't even know what to do. Like, here I am running behind the desk because I'm like, what is going on? Until I learn that I need to interact with them and I can either dress up the customer or skip them. Except I didn't realize I could skip them until much later. And so you can see at the bottom of the character's little feetsies, you can see different qualities that they're looking for in the outfit, and the different types of clothes you have and make in the game have the different qualities. So like this one, we could see this character wants something that has the white dye logo and the sprout logo, which I don't really know what all of those qualities mean, but pretty much you're just matching the symbols, and based off of how you do, you get different stars. You could get, I think you can get 0 stars, 0 star, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. So here I am, just giving them whatever I have. You can only sell clothes that are actually in your inventory, and at this point, I hadn't made any clothes yet because I accidentally opened the store too early, so I just sold whatever the game gave me to start. Then I'm introduced to how to make clothes in the game. There are 3 different machines, and I'm also told that I can go buy fabric and blueprints. So I take a look at what I have. There are some different categories where I've got hats, shirts, pants, all that good stuff. And right off the top, I can't really make a whole lot. So I'm just kind of taking a little look, seeing what's up. This spinning wheel, the noise was the most annoying noise I've ever heard in my life, but that's what you use to make the different fabrics. And there's also a machine where you dye stuff, but I had not discovered it at this point. Instead, my heart was on farming. So I went outside and I started farming. There's no tool wheel or any tools you need to kind of interact with yourself. In this one, you're pretty much just using one interact key, and it kind of knows what to do based off of where you are. So you need to dig up the plots, you need to plant whatever seeds by scrolling on your keyboard, and then of course, eventually you will need to water your crops as well. At first, I thought that I filled up my watering can from this fountain, but no, dummy, that's a fountain. You gotta go to the well. So after going to the well, I filled up my watering can. She does a little, like, I don't want to call it parkour, but like she did a little trick there where she's like flipping the watering can. And then she's hopping along. The characters in this game hop along kind of like Cozy Grove to me, which I just think is so funny. Every time she's just like sideways hopping along throughout the world. And you know what? I love it for her. After I took care of my crops, I realized that the watering can does not get you very far. So I moved on to making my way downtown, and I was finding forageable items, and then I ran into my first NPC. And oh my god, I do not like how they sound. Don't know about that, but you can shut them up and turn them off if you're not into that too. And then I was bummed to find out you can't actually go inside any buildings, and I was so sad because the outside of them and the exteriors looked so cute. But regardless, I went and talked to all of the NPCs I could find anyway, and here I am still in denial. I can't go inside. And I was a little bummed to kind of learn that the characters recycle dialogue. Like, some people said this same sentence, like, no one's in a rush in Cottonville. So not a lot of interaction here, but hey, maybe that's just the demo. Then I went to look to see what seeds I could buy. I didn't buy any yet because I wanted to see if there were other shops I could explore. I knew there was at least one other one, but I thought I would go all throughout the map. Eventually I hit the pink gas of doom, which meant I couldn't go any further. Then I guess this guy is the mayor, but he didn't really have anything to say other than like, our town history is like a loose thread, but nothing really else. This character has the best outfit, but also she's onto something here. She's saying that the mayor is sus, so I don't know if this is hinting at some further story development to maybe come down the line. Who knows? Then I went to the fabric store, and you could buy blueprints for more clothes or fabric. I bought fabric, and then I found the dyeing station when I went home, and I just pretty much looked to see what I had, to see if I could make any additional clothing to sell in my store. And this is the point where it starts to be Payton Navy or Old Payton, Payton's Denim Factory, because I find out quickly in this demo, one of the only things I could ever make are blue jeans and a blue jean skirt. So I hope you like denim if you're strolling up to my fashion shop. I didn't have a lot of materials, like I said. I had blue dye, so blue jeans, blue skirt. That's all you need, right? You don't even need other clothes, okay? You don't even need other clothes. I didn't really have a whole lot else to do down there, so I explored some more and I found my bedroom, and now you can change your appearance, including your outfit. So I put on my fresh new denim skirt and my blue little top, and this was pretty cool. You can actually go outside on your balcony and just take the ladder down if you don't want to go all the way back through the store. So then after I had kind of gotten acquainted with the game, I decided to buy some more fabrics, and I decided to buy some seeds. I couldn't remember how long and wide the plot was, so I guessed that it was 4x4. It was not, and I was absolutely wrong about that, so I'll have to come by and get some more seeds. But first I'm running into more NPCs. They're not really giving me anything, but they are cute. And then poof, at 6 p.m., everybody clocks out, man. They literally poof poof, they get out of here, and you have a floating lantern that accompanies you through the game. So I was going to start planting everything at this point, but then I realized I didn't have enough seeds. I decided to shut the ambiance up because I really hated the sound of the loom. And then I spent some time looking and crafting some stuff. I really wanted those hair clips. That was the end of day 1. Day 2, I went back to see if there were any new items in the recipe shop. There kind of wasn't. There was new fabric, but there weren't any new recipes. So I just got what I got. I finished getting my seeds, and then I farmed, and it took a long time. You can see in the corner, this was like an all-day event. That watering can, man, oof. She's a little slow. You know what? She goes at her own pace. She does not feel rushed, and she only waters a couple plots at a time before you gotta fill her up, but that's okay. Maybe there'll be upgrades. After I spent many in-game hours watering all of my stunning crops, I finally got my first achievements in farming, And the game does a really good job of actually rewarding you when you get these achievements, because I feel like they gave me quite a bit of stuff. Like I got money, but I also got fabric, I got seeds. I think this achievement is so funny. It's called Juicy, but Juicy is spelled not the way that I would spell juicy. And then I went inside to make some more jeans. And that one blouse. I'm making that one blouse and I'm making jeans. And then it was time to sell my jeans. Welcome to PayPay Navy. Welcome to Old Payton, the place where we sell jeans. Do you like jeans? She didn't want jeans, but you know what she's gonna get? You know what she's gonna get? A top, the one blouse that I sell, and then you know what else? Jeans. And she's gonna like it, and she did. She gave me 3 stars. So once again, doing the shop mechanic, trying my best to match up the symbols that are down below, and this was hard because I didn't really have that many items yet, right? I didn't have that many items, didn't have that many recipes. So I did my best until eventually I got a bunch of achievements and I got a bunch of rewards because I'm just the fashion designer of your dreams. You know what I mean? It takes hard work being the best denim jean making person there is, and that's what I do. I even got more achievements from just selling things, and then I went to see what else I could make. Wasn't that much, so I went to the next day. Day 3, more of the same. I changed my outfit into this cute one, and then I spent a lot of time watering my crops and even having some to harvest in this day, which was nice. And yeah, it's kind of more of the same. I only played 3 days of the demo instead of 5 because I feel like you get the point after the first day. But I bought some more recipes, blueprints, recipes, whatever you want to call them. I couldn't make any of the clothes because I still didn't have all of the different things. There's different types of fabric in this game, and at first I didn't realize that the cotton cloth was different than the bamboo cloth, and that's different from the linen cloth. So some of that might have been my bad for not checking to see like what I could make and what I couldn't, but another day of selling, and that's pretty much all you do in the game. You farm, you sell, you stare longingly out your balcony, and then you go to bed at 7 p.m.-ish. Okay, and before I get into my overall thoughts, even though you heard a lot of them while we played the demo, I kind of just want to poke around the Kickstarter a little bit and show you some of the other things. So, at the time of recording, it's April 11th when I'm making this video. They have started their Kickstarter campaign. There's 28 days to go, and so far they've raised $1,112 of their $11,340 goal. So I kind of just want to go through this all. I don't know about you guys, but I love looking at Kickstarter pages. Even if I don't want to back the games, I want to always look and see, like, what are the rewards and all that good stuff. So they start off by telling us the description of Cottonville, and of course, all the social media on where you can find the game. We're gonna skip all that because we already know all that. Let's go to the stretch goals, because I always think it's fun to see, especially now that we've played the demo, what could be added in this game if they get more support. So for $10,000, this is interesting, okay? Listen, I'm not here to call them out. But I do think this is strange. So you can get cast your line, fishing, and switch release. So they say at $10,000, there'll be a fishing and seashell gathering system. There'll be a PC selling system, a new NPC Otis short, the fisherman. There'll be 20 marine outfits and 2 dyes, and a Nintendo Switch port. Now, I think this is interesting because they're making Nintendo Switch port their stretch goal. But if you skip all the way down to the bottom of the page, they tell us that one of the rewards for the different tiers is getting a Switch copy. So you can get a copy for Switch, even though that's one of the things? Because here, right? If I go to pledge $20, I have to select my country. Yeah. What's up with this? Where you can upgrade to the Switch key. So I don't know why it's a stretch goal, because you can just it seems like they're doing that anyway. And also if you go all the way again to the bottom, when you look at the FAQ, it says platform certification and approval. It says since Cottonville is planned for PC, Steam, and Nintendo Switch, we must go through the certification processes required by those platforms. So I don't know why the Switch port is a goal when they seem to already be promising that. Anyway, okay, let's keep going otherwise. So then, other things that could be added to the game, 15K Cozy Fields Knitting and Farming, where you could raise sheep and Gora rabbits and alpacas. You could build your own barn. You can have a knitting machine, which unlocks cozy clothes, new NPCs Willow Hayfield and Walter Hearthstone, and also get 20 knitted outfits and 3 fabrics. Wait, isn't Walter the mayor? Isn't Walter the mayor, or is it a different Walter? Are there multiple Walters? There might be. Okay, moving on. 25K, we got the Woven Wonders, a moth sanctuary where you can harvest silk fibers and luxurious dyes, have a new NPC, Amara, the Moth Queen, a new area, the Moth Sanctuary, and 20 glamorous outfits in silk material. For 35K, there'll be Enchanted Threads, Magic in the Woods, where there are enchanted fabrics and glowing materials, new NPC Celine Nightshade, who's a witch, home customization and furniture skins, 20 magical outfits and moonlace material. And for 50K, we've got the last thread, oh, I never know how to say this, but it's like those adorable little crafted stuffed animals. Amigurumi? I hope that's right. And friendship. So you can do the plushie crafting. That's really interesting. And there'll also be a new social hub, expanded relationships and romance system, camera mode for in-game photos, and 20 outfits and 20 plushies. So those are all the stretch goals. Other than that, there's just more of the description of the game, some of the stuff we've already gotten to see, just they break it down for you a little bit further. And then I just kind of want to see some more of the finalized details before we wrap it up. So the rewards for backing the Kickstarter is a digital wallpaper set, access to the exclusive Discord, a game key, specifically for Steam or for Nintendo Switch, but noting that the Switch will be delivered after the PC version. There's also a digital guide, a digital art book, getting your name in the credits, postcards, stickers, a statue in the game for your dedication, keychains, exclusive items designed by you, VIP NPCs, exclusive Cottonville tote bag, and there's even add-ons where you can get an extra copy and a self-made character plushie. Obviously, all of these different rewards are at different price points, but yeah, that's an overview of Cottonville. I think it's important to take a look at the Kickstarter to see what they could potentially have planned for the game before I kind of critique what's already in it. I definitely recommend visiting the Kickstarter yourself if you're interested in learning more. They even have these cute little portraits of the people on their teams, as well as some Q&A, risks and challenge type of thing. So definitely check out the Kickstarter if you're interested in learning more. And there you guys have it. That was the gameplay. That was the Kickstarter. Now let's kind of wrap it up with my overall thoughts. Of course, this is just a game demo of something that is in development. So don't think of this as like a absolute concrete review, more so just a first impressions of what we're seeing so far. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I'm a mixed bag after playing Cottonville. I said in the beginning that I thought this was either going to be the greatest game ever or completely underwhelming, and I don't think it's one or the other. It falls somewhere in the middle for me. As you could see from my gameplay, the game is really simple, or at least the demo was. It's hard when you play a demo to kind of see, is this what the full game is going to be like, or is this just a little snippet that we're getting to see? From what I can tell reading through the Kickstarter stretch goals, it seems to me like this is a lot of what the game is, because other features that we didn't get in this demo are all things that are locked behind hitting certain stretch goals, like the fishing mechanic, like the romance mechanic. That leads me to believe that the demo might be a pretty good indication of what the actual gameplay loop is going to be like. And I think my theme for 2025 has been learning that not every single game that comes out needs to be overly complex. However, I seem to just like some more of the complex games. All year I've been playing games that have left me thinking, are we taking cozy to the point of it just being more simple? Like, do people really just want simple for their cozy games? Because I've played games this year like Cinnabunny and Sugardew Island, and both of those give me similar vibes to what I felt when I was playing this demo. This game, I didn't really love Sugar Dew Island, so it's less applicable to compare it to that one. But comparing it to something like Cinnabunny, a game I also played recently on this channel, I realized that that game was just a little bit like scaled back to compared to some of the other kinds of games I like to play. And when I played the Cottonville demo, it really seemed like that. I do like the mechanic of farming for the fabrics, to make the fabrics, to dye the fabrics, to sew the fabrics, to making the clothes, selling the clothes, and the styling mechanic, finding the correct like styles for each customer. I think is really cute. I really like that mechanic. I just think it all feels a little simple. Like the town, there aren't buildings you can go in. The characters are kind of lifeless. At least they are in the demo. I don't know if they're gonna be in real life. And the farming feels a little monotonous. I like that it's simple with the controls, but it is all just like a keyboard situation. There is no mouse. It doesn't really seem like there's a lot of customization of your space. You can only customize your character and the clothes, which were cute. I liked the clothes that existed. It just feels like this game is a little bit more simple than I was thinking it was going to be. I think this game may actually probably be best suited for younger audiences. I enjoyed it as a 25-year-old lady, but I think it was simple enough that a child maybe who, like me, like little baby Payton, who wanted to be a fashion stylist way back when, might enjoy this one. So overall, I feel mixed about Cottonville. I'm a little bit less excited about the game than I was when I made the Hidden Gems video, just because it's my own fault. I'm the problem, it's me. I think when I see farming and life sims, my brain still resorts to larger scale games like Stardew Valley, like Fields of Mystria, like Coral Island, and I just don't always assume a game is going to be a little bit simpler. This one seems like it. This one seems like it's kind of similar to Cozy Grove, if you like that game. I've played a little bit of that one, not that much. So yeah, that was Cottonville. Keeping in mind, everything I'm saying is just about the demo and not about the full launch. If the game fully launches and is like the most insane, amazing game ever, or like the worst game ever, I'm sorry if this video ages poorly, but I want to know your thoughts down below. Of course, feel free to check out the Kickstarter if you're interested in this game. This video has not been sponsored. I was not sent this demo. This was purely me seeing this game on social media and being like, what if I look into that? And I did. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to click the lovely little like button on the way out and consider subscribing if you like this kind of content. And in case you didn't know, I also co-host a cozy gaming podcast called the Slow Burn Podcast, where we talk all things about cozy gaming news, opinions, all the things that are going on. New episodes come out every single week. Be sure to check it out if you haven't already. And if you'd like to show some extra support on the channel, I have lots of fun perks for our YouTube members, as well as our Twitch subscribers. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.